You want me to open it?
Yeah, let's do it.
And the third and most important keyword, in my opinion, is customization. Do we have a mouse pad, Diana? Thank you.
So, Ronnie, what's the verdict here?
Well, there is a legend about a mouse, a computer mouse, coming from a land far, far away. It is said that this mouse is so ergonomic, that it has so many buttons, that it makes the creative workflow so much faster, better, and smarter. It's called the Creator. I think it's time we find out about this mouse. Alright guys, so I do have the Creator mouse right here in its original packaging. SwiftPoint, the company that creates these mice, sent this one over to us.
2, 1, 0.
This is a sponsored video by SwiftPoint and the Creator mouse. In this video, we want to give you our honest opinion about this mouse. We've heard it's great for working with Canva, so we want to try it out and yeah, let you know what we think about it.
Why don't you open the box?
You want me to open it?
Yeah, let's do it.
You all want me to open it?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Come closer. So let's unbox this. It says Creator right here. So there we go, opening this. Let me just flex this so it doesn't get in the way. So we have this to protect the mouse. I'm gonna take all of this out of the box. We do have some quick start guide right here. I'm gonna keep this for later. And this is the mouse. So it's big cord, black cord is like wrapped up around the box. Let's get it out. And there's also buttons here, so I guess these buttons can be interchanged for these ones right here. I think you can take these ones out. Yes. All right, so I'm ready to grab this mouse and give it a spin, but I feel like I'm missing something. Do we have a mouse pad, Diana? Thank you. All right, mouse pad, mouse on the mouse pad. Let's see.
How does it feel?
It feels great. I feel like my hand is properly covering the mouse, like every finger is where it needs to be. I like these two resting areas right here for these two fingers. Then you have access to all of the other buttons, which is a lot. There's a lot of buttons on there. So it feels sturdy as well. Like the material, it's plastic, but it's kind of matte finished plastic. Doesn't feel cheap, doesn't feel like too light. It's not heavy either, but it feels like good quality. Then we have the cable. Let's talk about this cable. It's a long cable. It's black, but the cable feels of high quality. It kind of reminds me of the newer MacBook Pro chargers where you have like the flexible cord. And then we have the connector, which is a USB connector. Not a USB-C, but a traditional old school USB cable. So I'm not completely sure how I feel about this cable. I guess I will have to use it before I can really give you my final thoughts on this long cable. All right, so that's how it feels. Now let's have a closer look at this. I want to see the actual design. It looks nice, like it says Creator right here, kind of like the colors. Also 13 buttons. It says on the box 13 buttons on this mouse. For some people this could be overwhelming. I mean, most mice have like 2 buttons, but to me 13 buttons means 13 more options when I create, when I design in Canva. So if I can program these buttons, this might unlock a lot of functionalities with this mouse. There's only one way to know. I will use this mouse for 1 week and come back to give you my full opinion.
But I also want to use it during this week.
Oh really? Well, don't worry. I have another one for you. There you go. You can also use it. Wait, the cable. Wait for it. There you go. This is yours. You can also use it for 1 week, but you have to tell us how you feel about it.
Okay, I will.
All right, guys, let's sit at the computer, and in order to get started, we are going to scan the QR code that is at the back of the Creator Mouse box, all right? When we scan this QR code, we will land on this page right here where we can learn more about the Creator Mouse. Here on top, we will see the main selling points of the mouse. We can toggle to this specs tab right here and discover all of the specs. I believe there are three main keywords that really describe this mouse. The first one is probably integration. This mouse will integrate with all the major creative apps, platforms, softwares that us creative people use on a daily basis. I'm talking about the Adobe suite. I'm talking about Canva. I'm talking about the Affinity suite. I'm talking about programs and softwares like GIMP, Corel. So all of these will integrate seamlessly with the mouse. So that's the first keyword, like integration. Second keyword, probably comfort. This mouse is very comfortable, okay? It's designed for right-handed people. So if you're left-handed, this is probably not the mouse for you, but if you use it with your right hand, it allows you a very comfortable position, and you can use it for a prolonged number of hours, just like creative people do, without feeling strain in your arm, in your fingers, or in your wrist. So that is the promise from SwiftPoint. Also, because it has so many buttons, kind of encourages you to use all of your fingers and all of the parts of your hand to really trigger all of these buttons. So that is the second keyword, comfort. And the third and most important keyword, in my opinion, is customization. You will be able, via the custom profiles that SwiftPoint has preset for you, you will be able to assign specific actions to the 13 buttons on the mouse, okay? So let's say you work a lot with Canva, like us. Well, you will find in the software a custom profile made by SwiftPoint for Canva, attributing actions to all of these buttons. And what you can see here is simply a summary of these different actions that can be triggered with the buttons. And similarly, you will find this for a bunch of other creative software. So I really love that. So on the one hand, you can use these custom profiles, I would say, out of the box as they are set up for you. Or if you want to customize them a bit further, you can tweak these. You can assign different actions to the buttons and then save the profile and it will update. So that is also super convenient. And then one last thing I want to talk about before I hand it over to Diana, who is going to plug the mouse to her computer for the first time, download the software and show you how the profile works, is the fact that you can also create a profile for, I would say, your general use or your desktop view of your computer. What do I mean by that? Well, every day there are actions that we do on a regular basis, like dozens of times, sometimes hundreds of times. Things like copy paste, things like zooming in and zooming out. So these little actions, you can also program them into your mouse in the desktop profile. So for example, right here, I am using the desktop profile and I have assigned different things, like for example, zooming in and zooming out with these two lateral buttons that I'm triggering with my thumb. Something else I do dozens of times a day is to switch between my different windows right here. So I can do so by simply pulling on one of these triggers right here. Taking a screenshot, another one of these little actions. So very easily I can trigger that with this button right here, make my screenshot, release my click, and I have my screenshot saved to my desktop. So as you see, customization at the highest level. To be honest, I have never seen that level of customization on a mouse. And I come from another customizable mouse. Now, this one goes way further. And in order to show you that and teach you how to do it, I'm gonna hand it over to Diana, who is in the studio. She's going to show you how to get started with the mouse. So let's go meet her.
Hey guys, Diana here on the studio. Before I show you how the software works, let's download and install Canva on our computers, because working from the Canva app instead of Canva from the browser will give us the best mouse experience. Let's go to canva.com and click on this computer icon. As you can see, when I hover on this icon, it says download the app. Canva opens this new tab and we just need to click on this button. Then just follow the installation steps. Now, where do we go to download the control panel software? Well, actually, after you buy the mouse, SwiftPoint is going to send you an email with a link to download this control panel software. But you can also go to swiftpoint.com, go under the help and download menu and select SwiftPoint Set and Tracer software. Here, you're going to enter your email, choose Creator, select the operating system you have, and then download now. After installing the software, I do recommend that you restart your computer to minimize the risk of potential application errors. This is recommended after you install any software, and because we just installed 2 new apps, I guess it wouldn't hurt doing it. I just restarted my computer and we are ready to learn how to customize the different profiles of the mouse in order to trigger desired actions with the different buttons. When you open the control panel, it will automatically show the supported apps or games installed on your computer, and each of them will have their own pre-configured profiles. I only have 2 at the moment, but if you were to have more of the supported apps installed on your computer, they will show up in here. Now pay attention to the mouse mapping. Right now we have desktop selected, but when I change it to Canva, it looks different. This is because we want the buttons to trigger different actions depending on the app we are using. I only have 2 apps at the moment in here, desktop and Canva, but if I wanted to add more apps, I can do it manually. Click on the plus icon, select Link App, and from here you are going to select the app that you want to add to the control panel. I'm going to select Google Chrome because I use this one every day. Select Open. Now I'm going to give a name to this profile. Let's type Chrome. You can also add an image to this app that you are adding manually. So I'm gonna do it. I already downloaded Google Chrome's logo. Going to download, selecting the image, select Open, and that's it. We're gonna click Save. There you go. I have added a new app to my control panel, and like this, I can customize the buttons so they trigger certain actions inside Chrome. But now let's talk about Canva. I'm inside Canva's profile. As you can see, the mouse has an action associated to each button. All of these are pre-configured, so once you install the control panel on your computer, you will have this already done. So let's open Canva and see how the mouse works. Here I have Google Chrome and Canva open next to the control panel because I want to show you that every time you go from app to app, each profile gets activated automatically. And this is because we have the active profile as automatic. If you wanted to change the profiles manually, you can leave this set as manual, but personally I prefer the automatic option. So at the moment the profile that is activated is desktop, and the buttons in my mouse will trigger these actions. When I move to Canva, you will see that the icon becomes red. This is the profile that is activated at the moment, and the buttons in my mouse will trigger these actions. It will happen the same if I go to Chrome. You see that this profile is highlighted at the moment. Gonna close Google Chrome, and I'm gonna stay in Canva to show you all these different actions. Let me move the control panel to the side so we can see better the mapping at the same time as we are using the mouse in Canva. We have the 2 main buttons, left click and right click. Now let's move to these 2 buttons. I really like them because these actually have 2 options each. Let's go for this one. You will see that it has 2 actions. One is bringing the magic search, and the other one is activating mission control. So you will see that this icon is asking me to pull the button, and then I will see the magic search on Canva. Let me pull up this button, and as you can see, the magic search appears. I'm gonna add a circle, why not? I'm gonna work with this afterwards, and then let's add a text box. Now, let's activate the mission control. This action is moving down, so I'm gonna press this button down. And now I have access to the mission control. Now let's work with this button. If I pull the button up, it will show the rulers, and then if I press it down, tab switching gesture. Okay, so pulling up, you can see that my rulers appear now. If I pull it up again, they disappear. When I press the button, it is changing from tab to tab, so it's going to the home page, and now I should go back to my document. So I'm just pressing my button down and it is switching tabs. Now let's work with these two buttons. We have move element gesture and duplicate element. Let's work with the move element gesture. I'm gonna bring the rulers to my document just to show you that sometimes when we are working in Canva, we cannot bring our elements where we want them to go. So for example, in here, I'm trying to bring this text box exactly to 100. But because I have this margin next to the 100 pixels, my element gets snapped to this margin. But with this button, I can move my element very precisely. My element is moving a pixel at a time, and now it is located at the 100 pixel. So this action or this button really help us being very precise on our designs. Now let's see how the duplicate element button or action works. When I press this button, it should duplicate my circle. There you go. I have duplicated the circle. Let's do it one more time. I have another duplicate in here. Now let's talk about these two buttons right here. One is redo and one is undo. Let's click the one that is below, this one. It should take me back, so undo action. You can see I had deleted this circle before, and if I keep undoing, I will see my previous actions. If I click this button, I will redo my actions. Now, element order. Let me bring one more element to my design. I'm gonna trigger the magic search and let's add a rectangle. I'm gonna add different colors to these shapes so you can see what we are doing now. We have 3 elements right here, and now we are going to work with the element order. Let's say that I want to bring this text box behind the pink text box. Let me make it bigger so you can see clearly what I'm going to do. Let me select the text box, and now I'm pressing this button and I'm gonna move my mouse forward. So I'm pressing the button, and then when I move my mouse, this one is going behind the pink shape. If I press and move my mouse forward again, you can see that the text box is behind the other shape. If I want to bring the text box in front of these shapes, I just press the button and move my mouse in the other direction. Also, something pretty cool about this mouse is that it vibrates. So every time that I'm moving this text box behind or forward, I feel a slight vibration in my hand. Now let's talk about this button right here. This one says that it triggers a zoom gesture. So let me go to Canva. Let's press this button and move my mouse. You can see we are zooming, and I also can feel the vibration in my hand. Now let's talk about the wheel. This wheel works as any other mice, but this one works as a button as well. And it has the upper and lowercase action associated with it. So let me go back to Canva. I'm going to select the text box and I'm going to press the wheel. So I'm pressing, and as you can see, my text is now in uppercase. If I click one more time on my wheel, it will change to lowercase. Now let's customize the buttons in the mouse so they trigger different actions. Let's go to the control panel, select Canva, and from here you can customize any button. I'm gonna start by making my mouse faster. So I'm gonna click in here and I'm gonna increase the DPI. Let me go to 3000 and then save. Let's go back to Canva and let's move my mouse. I think this one feels better. I guess the pre-configured DPI, it was a little bit too slow for me. Let's go back. Now I want to attribute a trigger to any of the buttons to create text boxes inside Canva because I use them a lot. I think I'm gonna change this one that says move elements. So we just need to select the button, and from here I can delete the actions that were attributed to this button. Let's open this menu, go to elements, add, and then add a text box. Make sure that you click save. Now let's go to Canva to see if the new trigger works. I'm gonna press the button and I have a new text box on my design. This button right here and this one are special because they have a deep click action. So let me add a trigger to this deep click. Let me make my text box bold, so I'm gonna go to text and bold text. Select save, remember. Then let's go to Canva and see what happened when I deep click this button. You can see that now I have the bold feature activated, and when I deep press it, it removes the bold feature. We also have a deep click action associated to this button, so you can change it from here. So basically we have two buttons with this deep click feature. Yes?
Hi Diana, are you busy?
Yes.
What are you doing?
I was just teaching them how to customize the triggers on the mouse.
That looks pretty cool. I mean, is there a way I can have the same profile on my mouse? Can you pass that to me?
I guess we can export my profile and try to import it into your computer.
That would be dope. Let me call Sean and see if we can do that.
Well, thank you Ronnie and Diana, and hi everyone, Sean here again from SwiftPoint, and in this section of the video I'm going to run you through how easy and simple it is to export and import your own personal profile from Creator's software suite, the X1 control panel. So let's go to my computer. All right everyone, so here we are at my computer, and the way to export and import a profile from Creator's software suite is super simple. We're going to begin by coming down to the left hand corner of the control panel and click on the button that says expert mode, and this is the screen that you're going to be welcomed with, and simply come up to the top left hand corner and click on the menu button up here, and we're going to click on export mappings to a file. You're going to be welcomed with this pop-up screen here that says select profiles to export, and of course for this example we're going to be exporting our Canva profile. So we're going to click Canva, click OK, and you're going to be welcomed here with this pop-up save as screen where you can decide to save your exported profile anywhere to the computer that you like. I would recommend, for speed of access, saving it to your desktop there, and then if you would like to, changing the name of the profile to the Canva profile. Clicking on save, and that has now exported to your desktop, ready to be sent to your team member or a friend of yours or someone else who you would like to share your profile with. So this is the section where we import the profile that we've just received from somebody on our team or a friend of ours. And how do we do that? Good question. In exactly the same way that we exported the Canva profile. So coming in to Creator's software suite, the X1 control panel, coming back down to the bottom left and clicking on expert mode, coming to the top left hand corner of the screen, clicking on the menu icon, and we are going to click on import mappings from a file. I saved my profile to the desktop, so I'm going to click on desktop, click on the Canva profile here and click open, and then it's going to ask us which ones we would like to select. So we're going to select all, which is our Canva profile, of course, we just got the one, and click OK. And then as you can see there, it has now imported that profile here as Canva 1. So if I jump back for the sake of this video into simple mode, you will see that there is a secondary Canva profile. Now, as you can also see on the video, that Canva profile does not have the Canva image that the pre-installed profile will have. have. That is because this is a imported personal profile. If you would like to add a Canva image to that profile, then you can save the Canva logo from Google and then attach it to the Canva profile in Creator's X1 control panel. And that, my friends, is all there is to it. So back to you, Ronnie and Diana.
Thank you, Sean. This was super insightful.
Yes, and it's been 2 weeks since we started using the mouse or the mice, and I invited Ronnie here to the studio to ask him about his experience with the mouse.
Go for it.
So, how was your experience? I remember that you were worried about the cable of the mouse. So, how did you manage to live with that cable?
Yes, the cable. It's true that at the beginning, coming from a Bluetooth wireless mouse, switching over to this mouse with the long cable, I was a bit hesitating. But after plugging it in my computer, I kind of forgot about it, to be honest. Like, the cable has not been an issue at all. It's just like I'm using the mouse, the cable is long, so it's never getting in the way. And yeah, I kind of forgot about the cable, so yeah, no issue for me.
Same here. I also was worried about the cable, but it doesn't make any difference. The good side is that you don't have to charge your mouse as a wireless mouse. Now let's talk about the 13 buttons. How was your experience?
The first couple of hours feels a bit overwhelming, not gonna lie. It's a bunch of buttons, and when you first put your hand on the mouse, you're like, okay, what does that do? What does that do? So the first couple of hours are a little bit overwhelming, but then you discover the X1 interface, the little software that you use to customize your profile in all of these buttons. And it's very straightforward. It's easy to use, like you've demonstrated. And so immediately I started tweaking my profiles and adding, not just for Canva, but also I created a new customized desktop profile, and I added all of these little gestures that I do like 100 times a day. And I selected different buttons to trigger these actions. Like, for example, I added a screenshot functionality with the touch of one button, and now I can screenshot anything on my screen without touching my keyboard, which I love. I added the zoom in, zoom out functionality with the two lateral buttons, so I can zoom in and out on any web page. Also something I do all the time, etc., etc. So really for me, customizing all the buttons and then learning how to use them in my day-to-day workflow really made a difference in terms of productivity, in terms of speed. So overwhelming at first, and then you start understanding the power of the 13 buttons, and then you get hooked, and then it's hard to live without them, to be honest. What do you think? Like, what about you?
I had a similar experience as yours. Maybe one mistake that I made is that I tried changing a lot of actions at the same time, and then it was kind of difficult to remember all the changes that I made.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. I guess a better way of doing it then would be to start with the base profile, which comes built in with the software, and then see, oh, all of these actions, am I going to use them all? If the answer is no for maybe 2 or 3 of the actions, change these actions for some other ones you know you'll be using, and then test the mouse again for a couple of hours and then come back, maybe tweak some more. But that's a better way of maybe creating your ideal profiles for all the different apps.
So, Ronnie, what's the verdict here?
Well, I guess we have 2 happy campers here. We've been using the mouse for about 2 weeks, and I can say that I'm not going back to my previous Logitech wireless mouse, which is something I never thought I would say because I love this mouse. But the Creator mouse has proven to be such a productivity boost in my workflow because of all of these buttons and this high level of customization. I just love it. I love everything I can do with it.
I really love that you can create different profiles, so you become really fast at any task that you have to do. It can be on Google Chrome, Canva, your desktop, or any other app that you configure in the control panel. So I guess both of us are really happy with the mouse.
Yes, And that is why we have partnered with Sean and his team at SwiftPoint to bring you guys a special opportunity to buy this mouse at a discount price. We have a 15% discount on the original price of the mouse. The original price is $179.9 US dollars with the discount 15% that you will apply when you buy the mouse by using the promo code RONDY15. We'll have that in the description of the video for you. So using the RONDY15 promo code, you'll get 15% discount on the mouse, which is about 27 US dollars, I think, bringing the price down to around 152 US dollars. So is it still an expensive mouse at $150?
Yes, I believe it is expensive, but you should see it as an investment because this is going to help you boost your productivity and it's going to save you a lot of time.
Completely agree with you. It is an investment, but we believe one that you will not regret. So check out the link in the description. Don't forget to type in the code RONDY15 to get your 15% off. And that's it for today. And we'll see you
In the next tutorial. Bye.